Hi, I am Elohim. I am a magical worker, a healer, and tarotist. I am the author of Manifestation Magic 21 Rituals for Abundance, Prosperity, and Wealth. The book is available now everywhere. So I decided to make some extra content material where I can share with you other ideas about the book. Sorry about noises, echoes, or if the video changed the light or something like that, because I'm not a technological person. In Manifestation Magic, we are working to create a mindset about how bring abundance and wealth to our lives, but also how recognize all the signs around where we can focus our energy. All the book is a conception of how go in direction to create these 21 rituals. It's not just a book with 21 recipes. It's all the mindset that you create in a process, like in a class, and go there in a way where you can find, oh, I am ready to do this spell or this ritual or this amulet, so I can do it now, because now I understand everything about how was created the spell work. So the idea of this special video in this occasion is how you can construct your own spells for money or abundance, and how we usually do. In my argument, in my perception, in my experience, what we do is try to reflect the culture of money for countries and cities in every spell for money that we do. For example, if you are in North America, it's very common that people use green for represent money, because it's the color of the dollar bill, the most popular dollar bill around the world. So everybody relate green with money. In, for example, South America, we relate green with abundance, for the conception that when you see the trees, you know that every tree has so many leaves. So when you go to the woods, for example, in Amazon, you see all of this abundance, nature, life, nurturing, is so much in there, and we try to reflect that inside of our home using the color green. But for example, if you are trying to create a spell to bring money, not just focusing abundance, because abundance is not something specific. Abundance can be abundance of every possible way. You can be abundant of money, you can be abundant of problems, you can be abundant of health, possibilities, opportunities, friendship, but also you can be abundant on enemies. So when we are repeating over and over, I want to be an abundant person, you are not being specific. For that reason, we try to be very specific with spell work. We focus a little more in prosperity and wealth and well-being. It's more focused in that direction. For example, in my original country, the biggest bill when I left the country was the color pink. So that's the reason why we make money spells using pink candles and not green candles. In North America or Europe, you can find in the books from the authors of these countries that pink candles are more for friendship, for love, for compassion, and for protection of your loved ones. We use for money. Why? Because it's a reflection of our own culture. That is first of all. Second is find the way how do you want to do the spell work. What I mean with that is so many ways to do magic, because magic is practically everywhere. Actually, magic is everywhere. So it's very important find with which way you feel more comfortable. I'm not saying that you need to have a tag. You don't need to tag yourself or identify yourself like a green witch, money witch or something. But if you have a part of magic that you really feel realized in there, that you feel complete in there, that you feel safe in there. For example, if you like to work with herbs, or you prefer work with oils, or you prefer work with just candles, or you prefer just work with gems, crystals, minerals, that's pretty well. You can choose your way. In the way where you decide to put your energy and your magic in there, try to find all the conceptions about money. If I work with just herbs and flowers, which are the flowers and herbs related with money? if I am a crystal witch, I think that is the term, and I want to just work with crystals, gems, minerals, rocks, which are the crystals related with money and why these are related with money. This is very important because, for example, in Venezuela we use rosemary to bring money. In other countries, rosemary is just for protection. Why we use rosemary for money? This is very, very important. Because rosemary for many years was a very expensive herb. Just that, so easy like that. So if you have it and rosemary can grow in your garden, all of these little leaves or pins that the rosemary has represent different, represent abundance, represent that something is growing, represent that something is trying to create more life. So we use rosemary for money. We have this small ritual for prosperity. That is when you move to a new apartment or home in Venezuela or in different cities or Colombia. I think that in Cali they do that. They throw rosemary in front of the door when they are moving. So in that way, the family or new couple moving into the apartment or house, they will have a prosperity life in that place. It's a good way to bring money. In other countries, different plants represent money. For example, roses are very well known because are romantic and people bring roses to everyone else in films in every season, apparently including winter. But roses are more related not just with love, are related also with vengeance. Also they are related with protection. Also they are related with newborn. For example, if you want to consecrate the place for a newborn baby, you burn roses in the place to bring all the energy of protection in there. And it's an offering to all the spirits. So the spirits of persons who never born, these unborn people, they will not come for the baby. They will not try to bring to their place. They will leave him or her or it or they, I don't know, live in the place, in the world, without trying to kill the baby. That's a pretty nice ritual that we can do with roses. So roses are very useful for protection. Many people use roses to represent abundance. It's very important all about representation in magic, but roses also has this spin, can be very harmful. So all of that is represented in the way how you use magic. In South America, a flower that we use to represent abundance and prosperity is orchids. We use the orchids or orchids to represent prosperity because these kind of flowers are incredibly expensive and very weird in our countries. In different cities of North America, for example, here in New York City, are pretty common flowers. Orchids are practically everywhere. So representation is very important. When we speak about representation, it's all the representation, the color, like I speak about the candles, the item in this, or object, or element, in this case, the roses. What represents the rose? What is the form of the rose? Has a spin, has coins, has thorns. All of these elements are very important. Herbs are more related with money, while flowers are more related with abundance. So you need to be very focused in which kind of flowers do you have in your home, or your temple, or your office, or your place, because the energy of that flower is that what exactly are you bringing to the place. But also it's very important to remember that if you have a garden and all the flowers are in there, or flowers are in there, you are bringing all of this energy, and the energy is burning. So you have a little source of energy there that you can use for yourself. When you cut flowers or you buy flowers in the market and you bring to home, it's just a little source of energy that is dying day by day because the flowers are they were cut. So it's not like an eternal source of energy. It's not like you have a garden. So it's this kind of representation that you need to focus a lot. A part of that, speaking again about the kind of magic that you choose to use, crystals, for example. You can use crystals, gems, and all kind of minerals to bring different aspects of abundance. Every time that you are doing magic, you are bringing abundance of something. We usually refer just abundance when we speak about money, but no, abundance is in every aspect. I can say the universe is abundant on stars. And this is a fact. It's not just money, it's stars. So if you have, for example, roses in your home, you should be an abundant person in the aspect of protection. Probably you have a very nice place where nobody comes to try to rob you very close to the place, or when people like your friends or your loved ones come to the place, they feel comfortable, they feel safe in the place. Why? Because you have roses in there. It's the energy that you have in there. The place is protected. You are playing with the representation, you are playing with the energy that is in there. It's specifically in the roses that you bring to the place, that you bring to your home, that you bring to the location. The representation is in magic is very important. So something that we usually do is, because in this new age, in these new years, we have so many options of magic. It's not like we are not more in the 90s with the Yahoo groups and the chats, chat chains where you send all of these emails to groups, and magic was there, but the information was more limited. You don't have many options. Now we have so many options every day, so many books, so many blogs, so much information, and many times also we have so much misinformation from people who don't have many experience. Usually we can say that it's nice people, probably with good intentions, but they see the life from a different perspective. For example, witchcraft has been related in different aspects in history. In Latin America, witchcraft is the tool of the poor, the mischief, the minorities. In other countries, like for example England or USA, after the age of persecution of witches, after that, witchcraft was something more related with certain groups, very exclusive in some aspects, where they have access to all of these sacred places, very expensive books, and elements, items, amulets, travels, and journeys. So it's two different conceptions. So the conception here about money is more like everyone has money. The conception here about money in Latin America, for example, using witchcraft is more like I can use witchcraft or magic to defend myself and bring money. So you need to play very nice in this field, because you have so much information and many times so much misinformation that can be underestimated in many ways. You have many options, so because you have many options, probably you will feel very confused. Oh, these crystals can be used for money. These herbs and flowers can be used for money. These gems or oils can be used for money, but also can be used for love or for protection. Why? This doesn't mean that one author is trying to contradict the other one. It's because two reasons. The first one, the background. Remember that every author who brings you a book specifically is bringing you a lot of his or her or their personal experience in that field. It's not one author trying to question the other one. It's just, from my perspective, we use these elements in my country for this kind of magic. But the other author says, oh, but in my country, for example, in North America, brown sugar is pretty weird, practically nobody uses it. And it's essentially for love. Just is for spellcasting related with love, and most usually used for Latin American people, Caribbean people, Afro-Latin people. In Latin America, brown sugar is used for money, for protection, most than just for love. You can use it for love, but for that we prefer use honey, that is pretty cheap in our countries, and we use the brown sugar for protection and abundance. We use it for prosperity, to bless other people with prosperity. You literally throw brown sugar over them, because in that way you are bringing them prosperity. You throw the sugar on them and you repeat over and over that all of this is money for you. We do that. It's similar to the ritual when people has a wedding, and when they are going out of the church, people throw rice over them, because it's a representation of abundance for some cultures. So we have many options. You should try to ground yourself with information, see which feel more comfortable for you, and if I want to work with crystals, if I want to work with earth, you don't need to focus in just one. You can focus in all the ways that you prefer, in every way that makes you feel comfortable. If you feel comfortable with all the aspects of magic and you want to bring spellcasting and spellcraft in your home using flowers, herbs, oils, rocks, gems, water, perfume, you can do it. If you want to focus in just one way, you can do it. But you need to understand that many times you will receive information in classes, in books, in journals, with many contradictory information. This does not mean that one author is questioning the other one. It's just giving a different perspective of a situation. When we're speaking about herbs, crystals, minerals, oils, it's very important. Remember how is created the wine. The wine, you put the grapes in a place, this is starting to grow, and when you try these different wines from different countries, for example, wine from Argentina, the wine from Spain, the wine from France, the wine from California, the wine from New York, the wine from Chile, these different wines has different flavors, different perfume, smell, aromas, different textures, different bodies. Is because the wine has all the elements of the land, has the air, the land, the ashes, the herbs, the smell of the flowers, has all of these elements blending there in the air. And when you finally have the grapes, this grapes has a mixture of all of these elements, and these mixtures stay also in the wine. So when you drink the wine, you are starting to also feel these flavors. Oh, in this wine I can feel a part of vanilla, I can feel a part of chocolate, I can feel a part of cacao, I can feel a part of blueberries, I can feel a part of corn. That's probably wine from South America. Oh, this wine has a particular smell like ashes. Probably is a European wine. In the same way that this work with wines also work with crystals, minerals, gems, rocks, flowers, herbs, trees, leaves. All of these keep some elements. For example, mugwort in North America is a pretty common plant. You use it for clairvoyance, you use it for divination, you burn this plant for do divination ceremonies. In Venezuela, this plant is very common too, but also this plant is located in very specific places more related with militaries and soldiers, grows around these places. So it's a tendency to believe that this plant is also bring protection to them. So soldiers usually has these very strange nightmares 2-3 nights before something happens. It's because these plants are grow around them, and they are starting to catch this energy. So for us in that country, we don't say that mugwort is for clairvoyance. We say that it's used for protection. It's the same plant, it's the same herb, it's literally the same energy, but it's perceived from a different perspective, perceived from a different person with a different background. It's feeling in a different way. A very nice example that I like to use in magic for all kinds of magic: love, money, protection, compassion, peace, and everything else. This is an exercise that we do in Amazon. Imagine that magic is water. Visualize magic like water. You can't take the water with your hands and keep it in there? Probably not. You need to have a bowl to put the magic in there, to put the water in there. You want to create a spell? Yes. How you can redirect energy in a way when you know that all the magic is around yourself. You can just sit down, visualize, breathe very deep, and send the energy in that way. Probably you can do it, but it will be very difficult because the magic is around all of you. So if you imagine that magic is water, you can work with that. You can work with the equation, like science. So how I design the spell for love? I need that this water feels like love. So what elements I relate with love? the color pink, the color red, the color blue, the smell of perfume, the smell of roses, the smell of wine, the smell of food, a very nice dinner together with the other person that or persons that I love, or the smell of my loved ones, the smell of perfume, the smell of the soap that this person used, and I love the smell of this person. So I try to recreate all of these elements. So I use different oils, flowers, candles. I imagine that love is pink or blue, depending of the country where you are. For that reason, we use candles, or we decorate the room, or we decorate all the altar. We use all the possible elements to recreate everything there and make the water take that energy. So if I use pink candles, I imagine that this pink is the color that the water will take. I put that, and this go to work to bring love, because I'm redirecting the energy in a way. In this aspect, it's three elements that are very important, remember, in magic. When you try to move the energy in one direction, it's pretty complicated because we are living a very fast world. We are moving very fast. We think very fast. And because we think very fast, we assume that the world moves in the same way, that the universe moves in the same way, and probably not. Remember that when you are watching the stars, you are watching not the future, you are watching the past, because the light is coming up in a very different velocity. It's not so fast like your mind, probably. So it's very important to remember all of this information when you're trying to create a spell for money or for everything else. Can sound like very deep, unusual, unnecessary information, but this will help you in many ways. So, for example, what I'm trying to say here is you need to redirect the energy. So, if the body, the human body or any other body, is made of different aspects, you have different bodies. You have the physical body, the mental body, the dream body, the astral body, the spiritual body. You have 9 bodies in total. All of these 9 bodies are catch or mixed in 3 bodies: the physical, the mental, the spiritual. The physical body creates all the actions. The mental body creates all the attention, is where you focus your mind, and the spiritual body is where you focus your feelings, the way how you feel, the way how you manifest, is how literally you feel, is I feel, I think, I act. When you catch all of this information and you try to redirect the energy, remember that what actions I'm taking in this spell, where I focus my mind in this spell, how I feel, how I'm really feeling about this spell. I'm trying to bring money to my life, or I'm trying to bring abundance of money or abundance of opportunities to my life. How I need to feel. I feel lackness in this moment. I feel like I don't have anything. I feel depressed. I feel sad. I feel empty. I feel like a failure. It's many ways how you can feel in this moment about it. So this feeling will help me in some ways accord to some authors. You can use this feeling and try to turn all of this in magic in your spell world. It's not something that I recommend, but some authors suggest to do that. I recommend people focus a little more, try to breathe very deep, don't care. Sorry, but facts don't care about your feelings. You need to focus. You need to sit down, you need to breathe, you need to try to focus a little more. Take just 5 minutes, just try to breathe. A very nice exercise that I like to do is only that we learn is exercise very applied in psychology. Try to refresh your brain, that's the term. You lock or cover one part of your nose, you breathe very deep for one side 3 times, and then you do the same exercise with the other side. For example, 1, I do that 3 times, and then the next one. When you do that exercise, obviously very slow, you are refreshing your brain. You are letting that all your body refresh. You are letting that the oxygen comes to your brain and let you think better. In that way, you can say, okay, how in this moment, how I'm feeling? I'm feeling sad, I'm feeling depressed, I'm feeling empty, I'm feeling lackness of opportunities in my life, and why I'm feeling that way. So now I can now that I'm thinking better, I can try to put all that energy in one direction. Why? Because I see which is the problem. Maybe I'm doing a lot of money, but I continue thinking that I'm not because my mom or my dad or my sister or my brother or my husband or my wife or my children are asking me for so much money that I don't have. So probably I'm doing a lot of money, but I'm not manifesting that, I'm not seeing that. That is one reason. Or for example, I doing a lot of money, I have all the opportunities, but I'm feeling unhappy. So your problem is not money, your problem is that you feel unhappy. So don't do a money spell for that. Do a different kind of spell work for that. So you need to focus on when you are thinking better, it's probably the best for your spell work. Because if not, you are just spending your money in candles, in amulets, in herbs, in crystals, in stuff that you don't really need many times. And you are casting spells that don't go to result in anything because you are not focused in the problem, you're just focused in the manifestation of the problem. That is pretty different. Other question here that you need to resolve is exactly that, is where is exactly the problem? Where is exactly the root of the problem that it has with money? Why I'm not having money in this moment? It's because I don't have a job. Maybe I need to do a spell work to have a job. Maybe my problem is I'm doing money, but I'm spending so much. Why I'm spending so much? So let me cast a spell to organize better my time, to do more or better savings. Let me do a spell work to bring other opportunities of money in my life. Because if, for example, you have 5 years in the same work or 10 years in the same work, and you are receiving a very decent payment, and you continue feeling sad, you continue feeling like you are not receiving money for that work that you probably choose. So maybe the problem is the work, it's not the money. Probably you're receiving a lot of money and you're not spending the money well. When people feel depressed, when people feel anxiety, when people don't feel precisely comfortable, they take bad decisions. And many times these decisions are related with money. If I feel depressed and I'm having a week of constant depression every day, and then buying some chocolates and candies and sodas every day, I'm spending 20, 40, 50, $100 a week. In the end of the month, I spend a lot of money. In the end of the year, I spend more than $1,000 or $2,000 just trying to eat my feelings. So I'm putting all my money and all my energy in that part. I'm literally feeding my depression with my money, and also having health problems in that aspect. So it's very important trying to find the root of the problem. Spells that can help you in this aspect is everything related with reflection, with meditation. For example, tarot cards are a very nice example of magic that you can use for reflection or for meditation to find the source of a problem. If I want to know what is happening in my personal relationship with my partner, husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, etc., I can use the card of the lovers. I can put the lovers in the altar or in the mirror every morning and trying to see the card, trying to see what energy, what information this give me, trying to catch all of the information and use in my favor to resolve what is happening in my personal relationship. A card, for example, that I like to use for meditation, in the tarot, I think that is pronounced in that way, is the card of the universe. It's literally my favorite card of the whole deck. This is my favorite card because from the first moment that I see the card, and I use this example in many of my classes, is if you see the card of the universe, you see this human form trying to like levitating in the universe and bringing some light to some eye. Something that I always try to catch in there, something that always looks interesting for me is the born of the goddess Athena, the Greek goddess. Zeus, the god of the Olympus, he received this information from the oracle, saying that he will be thrown, he will suffer the traition of his sons. So he tried to prevent the event and he tried to manifest something that can be helpful for him. He tried to change the history in that moment. He tried to change the destiny or the fate. So he decided to have a daughter. And in the process, he manifests from his own brain, from his mind, he manifests the goddess Athena. Athena literally born from his brain, totally armed with the shield and totally dressed for the war, like a war goddess, but also a wisdom goddess. So I like to see in this card the representation of Athena coming out of the brain, watching the war through the eye of Zeus inside of his head. So I like to use this card to meditate about it. If I have a problem related with money, with abundance, with my work, with my job, I like to keep this card very close to me, very close to my pocket, very close to my stuff to work, very close to my computer or my laptop, or very close to my office. And from time to time, I try to see the card, and I try to see like Athena, trying to see the problem from inside. Okay, this is the problem, so let me try to see exactly what is happening from inside. For example, if I have a troublemaker boss, my boss is we can say that it's a person not very kind. It's a totally unkind person. It's a arrogant person. It's a narcissist person. And I focus too much in what says my other colleagues around. Your boss is a horrible person. He's an abuser. He's that and that and that and that and that. Maybe I need to change the perspective. Let me see why is him in that way. Maybe my boss is in this way because da 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 da. And when I find the reasons, I can resolve the reasons from inside. Okay, let me try to do a spell in the name of my boss, a spell for compassion, for example, or a spell for understanding. Or maybe he's having troubles with his family and he's just repressing all of that and reflecting all of this situation in the world. That is something that also can happen. So, using that, for example, we can pass to the next part, that is using tarot cards to bring money. I will recommend you some books below in the link related with all of this. So this is one of my favorite decks. Actually, I think that is officially my favorite. That is the Uncommon Tarot of Shahen Miro, or Shahen Miro. Shahen designed this beautiful deck, and all the cards are incredibly beautiful. I like to use some of these cards for a spell work of money related with my clients. For that reason, I have two decks, one for consulting and reading, and the other one for magic. For example, the cards related with coins are most of the time related with money. All the cards of the coins are related with money. I like to think in that way. If you make questions about your personal relationship or something else, probably you can use that information in a different aspect. But every time that I see the coins, my brain, my animal brain, just come with, oh, this is something about money, this is something about finance, this is something about a job, a work. I go in that direction immediately. If I receive more information, I can go deeper than that. So, for example, the cards of the 8 and the 9 of coins are very related with money, are very related with abundance, with good finance, with good fortune, with good luck. I like to put these cards over the table with the name of the client who is asking for money for a situation, an economic situation, with some candles. The color of the candles related with the country of the person. Or, for example, you can use white candles just to bring light on that economical situation of that client. You can use blue candles to bring balance to the economical or financial situation of that person. You can use red candles because that person is trying to activate an energy in a new project, a new goal, is trying to create something new, but is having troubles, feels locked everywhere. And when you see the cards, you see that the person is totally locked. The person is like trying to move walls, and these walls are so big that he can do it alone. So you put red candles to activate the energy, to bring in some creativity, to find him a way to resolve the situation. Other card that we can use, the wheel. The card of the wheel, it has so many perspectives, so many arguments about it. I like to think in the card of all the changes in the universe come for something well. incredible that happens. Every time that something happens and you don't understand why, something good comes after that. Most of the time, I never has the exception reading this card in that aspect. I like to think that the wheel is moving everything in your favor every time, but many times we don't see exactly how this situation is really helping me. Something happens in my work, or I lost my job, or I has a fight with loved one, with my family, or with someone else, and I'm not very clear about it. So I make a reading and I receive this card. I like to think that all of this is happening because it's something good. Maybe just you are just bringing light to a situation that was in darkness for so much time. So I like to use this card and put this card in the altar to continue bringing movement around the situation. Okay, my client or myself feels locked in this situation, in the world. I feel like I have 10 years working in the same department of marketing and nothing's happening. So I need to move. I need to change all of this. But wherever I try, nothing happens. They say no. All the people over me, they continue saying no. No, you can do that. You can try. You can't do something different. So let me put this card with some candles in my own name or in the name of the company or something very nice that I'm trying with my clients ultimately, especially after 2020, is I draw a map of the local place, the store, and I put the card over the map and I put the candles around, trying to bring all the possible light and understanding and movement to this place, to this specific location, for the well of my client or the well of the person in there. The sun. All the cards of the sun are beautiful, but this one specifically is a representation of the baby with the sun behind, and the roses remind me the imagery of the god Apollo, with all the elements, all the archetype, the roses, the garden, the art, the poetry, the beauty, all related with Apollo, all related with the god of light and the god of the day. This is a very nice card that you can put in your altar if you want to bring some light to a situation, if you want to bring some understanding and appreciation to your own work. Oh, I'm doing all of this work in my job. I'm doing everything that they ask me, but I continue feeling underappreciated. I continue feeling like all my work just pass. I can't find the word. Pass behind. Nobody sees what I'm doing. They just ask me more, ask me more, ask me more, but never recognize the work that I'm doing. So I use this card to bring light to that situation. I can put this card in my office, in my room, trying to bring some light to that situation. The moon card, most of the time is related with something in the darkness, with something secret, with something hidden, with something that people don't want to see and they need to see. This is a very nice card that I like, I just used it one time but resolved very well. I use this card to resolve exactly a situation where in a department of a little company here in New York, people was losing money. So I try to put this card in the altar with a very elaborate ritual, and to try to bring trying to bring the light of the moon in that situation where is what they are losing money, where they are losing money, when they are losing money, how they are losing money, and for why they are losing money. I try to bring all the light in that situation, in that point specifically, because you need to know exactly what is the problem that you have, the root of the problem. If you are not bringing money and abundance in your life, it's not mean be millionaire. It's not compare yourself with others. It's I feel good with the life I'm having, because if you are not feeling good with the life that you are having, it's because something is happening there. So you need to find the root of the problem, because many times you see this person who has lots of money, but they continue feeling unhappy, like I lack of something in my life. So you need to find the root in there. Maybe your case is different. Maybe you feel happy, but you don't feel complete. You don't feel whole. You don't feel appreciate on your life, and you need to work on that. So it's very important has understanding about all of the situations, meditate about the situation, bring light to these situations. These other two cards, the Magician and the Chariot. The Chariot is very important to move things faster. I'm doing this project and I'm putting a lot of money in this project, but this project don't advance, this project don't evolve, this project don't come out, this project don't end to born, this project don't manifest. So let me put the card of the chariot trying to move the situation. The card of the magician in this very majestic representation is really marvelous. The magician knows all the elements that he has on his table. He knows all the elements that connect the different worlds at the same time. And he knows all the elements that connect the physical, the mental, and the spiritual world at the same time. He's in all these places and worlds at the same time, and he's totally conscious about it. So when he sees the problem, he goes beyond the problem. When that is the work many times of the magicians or witches. When you work on witchcraft and you have some clients and these people come like, I need a spell for love and they want to have this person specifically. Witches prefer to go a little deeper in there, and why need to be this person specifically? You need to show off about has a relation with this person. It's something very personal. You feel like need to be this person. Why this person? This person reminds you or tricked you in some place. This person is a trigger for you, represents something for you, represent everything or something that you don't have exactly in your life. So we try to bring something very important in there, and that thing that we're trying to bring is understanding. It's very important to do that in that way, because when you understand a situation, you can resolve the situation. If not, like I said before, you're just spending money in the stores over and over. That's another point. We confide so much in authors. We need to bring, from time to time, we need to think a little more and try to go directly with another person with who I can speak, with who we can speak. Something that I like always to recommend to the people is read a book, but after that try to speak with the owner of the store, because this person who owns magical stores, they know so much, and many times they are not authors, they are just people who has a store. They are very magical people who actually has a lot of understanding about magic, sorcery, witchcraft, karma, energy. He knows so much about all of these things, but nobody pays attention to them. Why? Oh, because they are not authors. So probably they don't know. They have 10 or 20 or 30 years working on this, but they don't know anything. They just put all their money and risk their money in this local to work on this, but they probably don't know anything. And they usually know more than all the authors, because they read all of these books, and many times the authors steal ideas from these people. So try to speak with the owners of the magical stores, because they know a lot about magic and witchcraft, sorcery, and especially knows a lot about magic money. Different kind of amulets and talisman that you can use. We speak about if you are doing green magic or candles or crystals and oils. So for example, if you are trying to create an amulet, you need to blend elements that represent money for you. What elements represent money for you or abundance? For example, I have this necklace, this very cheap necklace that looks very well. And the truth is, this necklace, I don't remember how to name this thing in English, but in Spanish it's baño de plata. It's like silver something. Comes like a gift from a friend. This golden leaf that I am using from the last fall in 2020 was a present from a friend. We were in a store and he was buying some candles and stuff, and he buy this. And this key is the key of the first apartment in this building where I live. I moved when I was looking for a new apartment. We find this building that was in total construction, and the owner gave us the first key of the building, of the first apartment, and they keep the key with me, like representing that I have some power over the place. Also, I have access to the basement, so I literally have access to the root of the power of the place. So I have all of these elements in this necklace, in this chain, and this chain that I have bring with me from Argentina. And was part of a different amulet. So what I try to create in all of this is a perfect nice amulet made of gifts from different people who confide and trust on me in different moments of my life, in different countries also. And I try to put all of this together to feel like I has an extra strength with me. Also, this key literally connect me with the building, so I feel like I can bring power from the basement, correct? I feel like I can bring energy from the land and the river next to the building just using the key. I don't care if I am in different cities, in different states, in a different country, I continue having access to this place because I have the first key from there. That is how we construct amulets. When you construct or build an amulet for love, money, protection, compassion, bravery, friendship, light, wisdom, understanding, acknowledgement, healing, you need to focus in what made these elements special for you. It's not just buy stuff because, oh, this looks so nice, or mandrake, everybody speak about mandrake, but in the end of the day, mandrake is just another plant. Very nice because Shakespeare speaks about it, but it's a plant. Belladonna is probably better for many things. Actually, I think that apple trees works better in many ways than very exclusive plants. You can use different elements that you find in your home. For example, you move to a new place, go walk around, look for the first or closest park or river to the place where you move and find a little stone in there. A stone from the river or a stone from the park, and use that to create an amulet to bring balance and to balance the equation of magic in your life, to bring balance to this new place, so you will be very comfortable in the place. You will feel safe, you will feel like you are appreciated for your neighbors. You bring balance in that aspect. You bring something from the place, so in that way you are integrating yourself with the place. With that little stone, you have a powerful amulet. When we create amulets like I did in my book on charm bags, link below, we put different elements, we bring together. For example, I like to put cinnamon or brown sugar in my charm bags for love, to bring love to the people. But also in charm bags for money, I put cinnamon because cinnamon is, in many aspects, is related with money, with luxury, with exclusivity, with something that is so majestic, because it has a lot of history about the cinnamon and different herbs around the world. So I like to put cinnamon in this money charm, but not just for that, but also because I want to create a connection of love and compassion between the person, the owner of the amulet, with the reason or source of their money, with their job. Oh, I feel horrible with this work. Okay, and then let me put some cinnamon or brown sugar in the amulet for money, for balance, for a very good economic life, but also to make that this person feel in love of their work. Then they don't go to fall in love of the place. They don't go to fall in love of the job. They will starting to see how this work is so nice, is so beautiful for them. Or, from the data they take in your amulet, I noted that they really like my work because I have a very nice schedule. They give me so many free days a month. They pay me very well for the work that I'm doing. And actually, I see the works of my partners and colleagues and friends, and different to them, in the place where I am, they appreciate my work. They recognize my work, my effort, my time, my creativity, all the uniqueness that they bring to the place. So something like cinnamon, something so simple that you find in your kitchen, you can use for money. You can, for example, throw cinnamon around your home. You can take a bottle, a crystal bottle, and try to put in there some cinnamon, some rosemary, water, a little of your personal perfume, and throw that in a splash around your home to put your energy in the place, to balance the place, to feel like I own this place. This place is mine, has my own essence in all the place, but also bring money, compassion, and love to the place. Make that the neighbors around feels comfortable coming to the place. All of that are different ways how you can formulate or create different spells for money. So, in my book, I bring you different spells. I bring you different rituals and amulets and talismans. But also, Judas and the Baby, those are my neighbors who probably love me a lot. But also, I'm trying to teach you in the book and also here in the video how you can create and formulate your own money spells. You don't need just to focus in Elohim made this book and Elohim create this spell, let me do the spell. No. Do the spells. Buy the book if you want, but also you can create your own spells in many ways. You don't need to focus just in what says the author or any owner store or the influencer of the moment. Try to focus in the things that you know about magic and how you can use all of that. The reason why we have so many spells usually in the books is because the author, books are a reflection of the voice of the author. So many times we struggle with something and we try to put that understanding in the book so you can use this in your favor. Why I make a whole book about money magic? Because I come from a very poor family, I come from a very poor situation. I sleep in the streets, I work for months selling charm bags in a plaza in New York City under the winter. So all the things that I did, I put all of that in the book. This does not mean that I am the voice of money magic. It just means, oh, this worked for me, so let me show you how I did it. It's just that you can do the same in your life and teach to others how to do it, because magic is not supernatural, magic is not unnatural, magic is in there. It's not, literally don't exist something more natural in the universe than magic. Magic is everywhere. Magic is in the water, it's in the elements, it's in the air. You are breathing and magic is in the air that you're breathing. So magic is in this moment inside of your body, in the oxygen, in the water, in your blood. Magic is everywhere. It's totally natural. It's the most common natural element in all the universe. So try to learn all of these kind of aspects of magic and try to use it in your favor. Try to focus in which part of the magic I like. Sorcery, witchcraft, green magic, blue magic, stars, astrology, crystals, gems, minerals, rocks, oils, and in this area or in these areas of expertise, let me see which different aspects I like from the magic. I like to use herbs, I like to use oils, so let me blend all of these and create, I don't know, potions and oils, perfumes, creams for massage. For example, in my book, in Manifestation Magic, I include a soap that I sell to my clients to bring money and works very well for them. Some of them change the recipe and they add their own perfume in the formula, so they can use that to like a magnet. They put the perfume in the swab when it's totally solid. When they can use it, they use that in their body, so works like a magnet to bring the energy to them, to make them feel comfortable. Why? Because that perfume that you use, yeah, probably is chemical, but that is the fragrance that makes you feel comfortable. It's very important to know all of these aspects of magic. Is how do you really feel? In abundance, in prosperity, that is exactly the goal. It not has a lot of money in your bank account. It's feel safe. If you feel safe, that is working very well. If you have a lot of money, if you have a good job, if you have a very nice apartment, but you don't feel safe, you don't feel comfortable, you don't feel abundant in your own life, you are doing everything wrong. Now, if you have good money, you are not in debt with literally anyone. You are totally good with your paperwork, with your stuff, with your apartment, with your car, with your accounts, and in all of these aspects, also with your insurance and with everything else, you feel very, very comfortable, and you can help your loved ones, you can help your family, you can help your friends. With all of this, you feel like safety, you feel satisfied, you feel like I don't need anything else. That is the feeling that you need to have, and it's the focus that we need to look. So I will try to make another video about another different topics related with the book, so I can boring you for another almost 1 hour. And I can record more because the smartphone is giving me a little alert about the time. Bye. Stay safe, stay well, and be blessed. Be kind with everyone else.